Yo, what is up, guys? We got some new Yu-Gi-Oh cards to check out. We have a new Magician of Chaos monster, plus we've got new E-Hero Fusion, plus some other new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Dude, I'm just so excited about a new Magician of Chaos, but we gotta check out the effect, because if the effect is trash, well, I mean, it will at least make a good token, right? Anyways, we're gonna check out the first card, which is Magician of Chaos. So it's a level 7 Dark Spellcaster Ritual Effect monster with 2,500 attack and 2,100 defense points. It says you can ritual summon this card with Chaos form. It says this card's name is treated as Dark Magician while it's on the field of the graveyard. That's actually a really good effect. But second effect says once per when a spell or trap or effect is activated as a quick effect, you can target one card in the field and destroy it. Okay. The third effect is if this card is ritual summon, if this ritual summon card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you just special summon a chaos or blackluster ritual monster from your hand, except for Magician of Chaos, ignoring its summoning condition. You can summon one chaos or blackluster ritual monster. Okay. Huh. All right. Well, that's kind of interesting. It's trying to support like the BLS and then chaos, I guess, at the same time. But that, I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Is that actually really good? I just love the artwork on it, but if the card would, I just thought it was gonna be Dark Magician support. But it kind of is. But then like it's talking about chaos, blackluster, chaos or blackluster ritual monster. I mean, I guess you can for some of the chaos. It shouldn't have had ritual monster. If it didn't say ritual, this would have been so much better. But anyways, next up though, we got the new hero here, which is going to be a level 6 with 0/0. It's a light monster, and its materials are 2 hero normal monsters. Well, we got more cards. Whoa. Didn't even notice that. But anyways, 2 hero normal monster, and it must be fusion summon. Its first effect says it gains 300 attack and defense times the total levels of its fusion materials. It says as a second effect, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you contribute this card as opposed to one elemental hero fusion monster from your extract, ignoring its summoning requirements, but it cannot attack monsters whose level is the same or lower than its own. Well, it's a good thing. It ranks same level. Okay. That's interesting. Lower than its own, but like you could just attack over something small, you tribute it, and then attack over like their link monster. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, the fact that you can get anything ignoring its summoning condition is actually pretty insane. Like, huh? I mean, I think that fact is insane. Like, it really is. It does require normals, all right, normies, but I don't know. Is it worth it? You guys let me know in the comment section below. I've already heard people say it's pretty broken, but I gotta test it out myself. Oh, next up we have Signal Warrior, which is a new level 7 light warrior synchro effect monster. It's 2,400 attack and 1,000 defense, and its materials are 1 tuner plus 1 plus non-tuner monsters. Its first effect is once per turn during each standby phase, place a signal counter on this card. All face-up cards on the field, and all face-up cards in the field zones. This card with a signal counter cannot be destroyed by battle or by opponent's card effect. Third effect is once per turn you can remove a signal counters from either side of the field to activate one of these effects. So you get to burn for 800 damage. You get to draw a card or destroy a card. I wish it was once per turn during either player's turn, then this card would be much better. But nonetheless, it's during each standby phase. So that's the problem that I have with the card. It's slow already, and it's not a quick effect. I don't know how I feel about this card. Yeah, it doesn't get this counter until signal. Okay. You don't have to wait. Yeah, you wait a turn and it can't be destroyed by when it's card effects. But I don't know. I just don't feel like it's reactive enough. You basically have to stall with it. Yeah, it kind of stalls itself, but you guys already know it's going to be bounced back. Whatever. It doesn't stun your opponent in any way. Next up, we have the Utonomatopia. Okay, this card over here. It's like a mini Utopia. I don't know what I'm calling it that. Level 4 light, 1,500 attack, 1,000 defense points. And anyways, so warrior says it's always treated as Zubaba, Gagaga, or Go, and Do. You can only use this card's name effect once per turn. First effect says during your main phase, you can't special summon monsters from your extra deck for the rest of the turn, except for exceed monsters. Also special summon from your hand in defense position 0 or 1 monster from each of these categories. Wait, what? Each of them? Hold on. I got it. Hold on. During your phase, you cannot special summon. Okay, special summon from your hand 1 or 0 from each of the categories. I mean, yeah, you're gonna completely go off. If it was from the deck, much better. Yo, we got more cards. AzneyesWhitedragon, new Dark Dragon effect monster, 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense points, and it says you can also summon this card by attributing only one level 5 or higher monster. It says you can only use this card's second effect once per turn. The first effect is if this card is tribute summoned, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls, and if you get to inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. That's actually really good. The second effect says when this card destroys a monster of battle, you can special summon one level 5 or higher monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position except for itself. That's actually really good. Just being able to just, as soon as you tribute summon, you can burn your opponent. And it's not even half of it. It's not like it can't attack. And it has 3k attack. It's not a bad card, but like for the most part, it's not like by any means meta in my personal opinion. Unless there's something else that makes it really good. Next up though, guys, we got Backup Supervisor, which is a Link to Light Cyberse Link effect monster with 1,200 attacks and its link zone being in the right and bottom, which is this card right here. Anyways, the effect of this card is well, the materials got 2 monsters. You can only use these cards' first and second effects once per turn each. The first effect is if this card was link summoned by using Backup Secretary as link material at the end of the damage step. When your monster, this card points to battles an opponent's monster, you can just special summon one Cyberse monster from your hand. The second effect says if this card is destroyed by battle by opponent's card effect, you just special summon one Backup Secretary from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Okay. I'm not really too much Cyberse guy, but you guys can let me know how you feel about this. But we got Exceeds Skull Archfiend. And anyways, I believe we got some of these announced a while ago, some of the Archfiend support, but this is Exceeds Skull Archfiend. It's a rank 6 Dark Fiend Exceed effect monster with 2,500 attack and 1,200 defense points, and its materials are 2 level 6 monsters. And its first effect says this card's name becomes Summon Skull while on the field. Second effect says if a Summon Skull you control would be destroyed by battle by card effect, you detach a material from this instead. Third effect is if this Exceeds Summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card, you can just special summon one Summon Skull from your hand, deck, or graveyard. I want to say we had this announcement a while back. Remind me if the comments, like I said, I want to say we had this card announced. I guess it's just better artwork or something like that, or it's in color. Because I remember getting some Summon Skull and it was like gray. So we have some extra Salamangreat cards. Wow, they got a few extra cards. Plus, is that a new Exceed? Wow, a Stallion. So they got some new cards. Maybe we'll finally see some gameplay. I've been waiting for someone to send me in gameplay. I looked at the archetype, I was like, dude, I don't know about this deck, but if you guys got any good Salamangreat replays, feel free to go ahead and send them in, because I have not covered them. I looked at the deck and I was kind of confused. But anyways, more cards from the Structure Deck Soul Burner. It says multiple main monster deck monsters and the first Exceed of V-Rain's era anime deck is revealed. But first off, we have the Salamangreat Raccoon, which is the level 1 Fire Cyberse effect monster, obviously this one on the left over here, and it's 400 attack, 800 defense points, and it says you can only use cards named second effects once per turn. The first effect is when a Salamangreat monster you control is selected for an opponent's attack, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, target those two battling monsters and gain life point equal to the attacking monster's attack. Also, your target monster cannot be destroyed by battle for the rest of the turn. I wish it didn't have to have this effect. You'd have so many really cool cards. Like, Glad Beast could use it. That'd be so insane, right? The second effect says, when a Salamangreat monster you control destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends to the graveyard, while this card's in your graveyard, you can add it back to your hand. It's not a bad card, but again, I'm not too familiar with Salamangreat. Next up, we have the Gazelle. The Gazelle is a level 3 Fire Cyberse effect monster, 1,500 attack, 1,000 defense points. It says you can only use this card's name first and second effects once per turn each. The first effect says, if a Salamangreat monster is sent to your graveyard except for itself, you can special summon this card from your hand. The second effect says, if this card is no more special, you get to send a Salamangreat card from your deck to the graveyard except for itself. Oh, you can send the other card. Perfect. Next up, we got the Salamangreat Spinny. So it's the one on the left. It's a level 3 Cyberse effect monster. It's 1,000 attack, 1,500 defense points. It says you can only use this card's name first and second effects once per turn each. First effect saying if you control a Salamangreat card, you can discard it. Target a face-up monster gains 500 attack until the end of the turn. Second effect says if you control a Salamangreat monster other than a Spinny, you can special summon this card from your graveyard and banish it when it leaves the field. Next up, we have the Salamangreat Fowls, which looks kind of like a peacock actually to me. But anyways, it's card on the right with 1,800 attack, 200 defense points, level 4 Fire Cyberse. says you can only use this card's first effect once per turn. Its first effect saying if a Salamangreat monster is normal or special to your field except for itself, you can special summon this card from your hand. The second effect says you can send one Salamangreat card from your hand or face up on your field to the graveyard, and then target one set spell or trap card your opponent controls. It cannot be activated during this turn. Okay. Next up, though, we have the Salamangreat Mirage Stallion, the rank 3 Cyber Exceed effect monster with 2,000 attack, 900 defense, and its materials are 2 level 3 monsters. It says you can only use this card's name first/second effects once per each. The first effect saying you can detach one material to special summon a Salamangreat monster from your deck in face-up defense position. Also, for the rest of the turn, you can't activate monsters' effects except for fire monsters' effects. The second effect says is this Exceed Summon card is sent to the graveyard for the link summon of a Salamangreat Link monster. You can target one monster on the field, return that monster to its owner's hand. Okay. So I guess it's a stepping stone, plus you get to get back another card is the point of it. Next up, I wish I had like a another graveyard effect while this card's in the graveyard. If you do something or you banish it, I don't know, it would help it out. I know that if it's used, you can just bounce back. So then the day you get to summon a monster, and then whatever link monster you're going for, you just bounce back. But you still required another Cyber's monster to make this card in the first place. I don't know. I just feel like it could have had another effect, but again, maybe that'd be too OP. I don't know Salamangreats. Next up, we have the Circle, which is a spell that's a quick play that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first effect saying activate one of these effects. Add a Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand. Second effect says target a Salamangreat Link monster you control that was link summoned using link material with the same name as itself. It's unaffected by other monsters' effects for the rest of this turn. Okay. Interesting stuff. But we got even more cards, boys. So we have more cards from Premium Pack. This is the Salamangreat Mirage, which is a Link 1 Cyber's effect monster, 0 attack, with links being in the bottom right. The materials are one normal summon / set monster with 1,000 or less attack. It says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect, as a quick effect, says tribute this card, target a monster you control. During that turn, the monster cannot be destroyed by your opponent's effects. Second effect says when a normal summon or set monster you control is destroyed by battle while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Next up, we have the Rosebell Revelation, which is a normal spell card that says you can only use this, well, one of the effects of this card's name once per turn. The first effect, add a plant monster with 2,400 or more attack from your deck to your hand, which pretty much is all like the princesses for the most part that you'd actually want to run. Second effect says, actually, I'm kind of wondering what type. That could actually be Gigaplant too, right? Oh. Let me know in the comment section below what are other good cards as targets that are plants. The second effect says you can banish the card from your graveyard to special summon a plant monster with 2,400 more attack from your hand. Wow, that's actually really good. That's actually really, really good. That's an insane plant card. Next up, though, we have Synchro Transcend, which is a quick play spell card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first effect being target one synchro monster your opponent controls, a special summon one synchro monster from your extra deck that is one level higher, but it can't activate its effect during this turn. Okay. That's pretty interesting. Great stepping stone card, or if anything requires specifically one of those like synchron cards if you can. Some of the cards you just can't bring out, but if there's any of those cards, that's actually pretty helpful. Next up, we have Memories of Hope, which is a normal spell card that says you'll activate one card with this card name per turn. Draw cards from your deck equal to the number of exceed monsters you control. I don't know how many you're going to control, but if you're running something that's going for a specific thing, that just works really well. Let me know how to make this card broken. I would love to see that. But next up, we have Enma's Judgment, which is a normal trap card that says when your opponent special summons a monster, destroy those monsters, then you can apply the following effect. Banish 5 zombies from your graveyard, and if you're supposed to summon one level 7 or higher zombie monster from your hand or deck. Oh, it's for the new zombie stuff, definitely. Because this can hit multiple cards. That's not a bad effect. If it destroyed and then banished them, but you have to banish 5 zombies. It's a lot, man. But yeah, you get a good effect. It could be from the deck too. That's insane, but it's 5 zombies. That is, like I said, quite a bit. Last thing I just want to mention, just as a heads up, the prank kids, they just revealed the names. That's all it really. It has some tongue twisters, so it's prank kids, fansies, dropsies, and lampsies. That's really it. I just wanted to mention like their names. Anyways, yeah, a lot of new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I was really hyped up for these. Actually, the E-Hero one's pretty good. The Magician one, I don't know. Let me know, guys, what you think of some of these new cards, specifically the Mission of Chaos. Would love to see that gameplay in action. Like I said, feel free to send in any gameplay of any of the things we just talked about. But hopefully you guys enjoyed checking out those new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. If you're hyped about some of these cards, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards as soon as they get announced. But thanks for watching, and peace out.